What's up, PMC? Good morning. No, I don't even drink coffee, bro. I used to back in the day with my great grandma. I used to take a few swigs of my kid's mother's French vanilla. She used to buy these French vanillas from Tim Hortons, and I would take a swig here and there. They tasted really good, but I just knew that it wasn't doing nothing for me. I don't really think there's benefits in coffee. There is if you drink natural coffee. It's just like any other food. You could have it the healthy way and you could have it the unhealthy way. All right? Yeah, man. We even had the same birthday, bro. We used to celebrate here and there. I got some photos on my birthday on 2014. Pretty sure we celebrated some more, but I'm just upset that we can't celebrate anymore. The problem is I wasn't drinking. I haven't drank in 3 years, and I lost a lot of friends. I mean, these are people I grew up with. So I can't just cut them off completely. I told a couple of them yesterday, man. I'm like, just because I don't drink, man, doesn't mean I don't want to see y'all. I've been trucking, I be in my own world, but like, man, I want to get up with my homies and go out to eat once in a while. I uh I mean, some of them are broke. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta pay for their meals all the time, and it's like it is what it is, man. Hey, it's gonna be cheaper to spend $20, $25, whatever, $30 on a meal compared to letting them drink all my beer all night and taking them to the club and buying them drinks. What's up, TMI? What's up, Big Easy? Yeah, Tim Hortons is okay. I like their breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, I don't think it. I know you to email you, but and it wasn't me. It was a situation with them too. I think you might have misunderstood and thought they were calling me a snitch, but they weren't trying to call me a snitch. They were trying to call my man a snitch, and I felt like I had to stick up for my man because he's not a snitch. You know what I mean? The man was in his house. Like, you got the right to protect your house. And my man is not never. I mean, we all grew up in the same neighborhood, but Louis, you got people from the hood, neighborhood, whatever you want to call it, and some people go down different avenues because you know people doesn't mean you're like them. Louis was just a working guy. He always just worked, stay out of trouble, didn't bother nobody. He never perceived himself like a gangster. So what happened? Louis and Kiko, what's up, Cairo? I'll tell you the story. Louis and Kiko were getting drunk in Louis's basement. It was, a few hours went by. Louis gets tired. Louis tells Kiko he got to leave his house. Kiko gets aggressive. Nah, I'm not going nowhere until we drink these beers, trying to act gangster in another man's house. Not only that, Kiko kept going to Louis' house like 7 different times without permission and just like walking in. So there was already a little tension. Louis says, "Bro, I'm gonna call the cops on you. You got to get out my house. After he told him to leave multiple times, Kiko eventually gets mad and leaves. So now they're trying to call him a snitch because he threatened to call the cops. Dude, I don't think that's I don't think that's considered a snitch. First of all, Louis not from the streets. He's from the hood, but he never was a gangster. Now, if Louis was on the block, busting his gun, hustling, and you know what I mean, living that lifestyle, and then threatened to call the cops, I think it would make a little bit more sense. But Louis not like that. So what happens? They try to go to the vigil. Our mutual friend dies a few days ago. Louis tries to go to the vigil in 10th Street Park, and that guy Kiko calls him a snitch, and then they kick him out the barbecue. And then when I heard that, I lost it, bro. I'm like, cause I know the whole story. I don't think them guys know the story. They're just hearing that he's a snitch. Was gonna call the cops on Kiko. So I started making some phone calls, like, yo, that's not right, bro. Kiko was wrong. You know, you know what I mean? Louis should be able to be at the barbecue. And then I spoke to three different dudes at the barbecue, and they were like, yeah, nah, he could chill, man. He could chill. And I tried talking to Kiko, but Kiko was too drunk. I tried calling people that were at the barbecue, and I couldn't get through to nobody. Louis actually went back to the barbecue with his phone and let me speak to one of our other mutual friends, Angel. And I was like, yo, Angel, let me speak to the other dudes. You know what I mean? Let me speak to Kiko. Like, I told him, like, look, I'm not trying to start no drama, but Kiko was wrong, man. If you're wrong, you're wrong, you know? Friends, family, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, that had me kind of. I was pumped yesterday, a little too pumped, you know? I got worked up. I forgot to eat dinner. I mean, I was like I don't know. I just wish I was there because if I was there, I don't like drama. Y'all know that. I don't argue. I don't try to act like a tough guy. I'm not trying to say like I would have been there, killing people or fighting people. Like, nah, but I would have simply stuck up for Louis. Like, yo, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? And them guys know, like, I'm not out there no more wilding, but them boys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't paid my dues, bro. You know what I mean? Like, these are like, well, Kiko's older, but the other kids are like younger, and I guess I'm in the middle. Kiko's probably like the first generation on the block. I'm the one after, and then you got the younger ones now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird because we all come from, you got like different generations on the block, and we all come from a different one. But it's like, bro, that's another thing. Like, Kiko, you're fucking old as hell, bro, trying to act tough and shit. Anyway, man, I mean, I'm still cool with all them guys. I don't want to start no drama, but Louis, and it's feel bad because I'm the one who told Louis to go to the barbecue. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I can't be there. I told him to go with my neighbor, and then my neighbor is another one that just be chilling. He doesn't really know too many people. And he was like, yeah, it was a bad vibe. You know what I mean? As soon as they walked in the barbecue, he gonna call him Dirty Louie, and then, you know what I mean? Like, my other friend is like, damn, what the hell is going on? Stupid ass people. This is a time for us to come together, you know? Like, one of our friends just died. But I'm just glad they showed respect, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, cause when I was talking to the one dude on the phone, me and him had like a little tension in the back in the day. Me and his older brother are mad tight. And then he's the little bro. I was cool with them, but then me and the little bro's other friend caught a little problem because they shot up my aunt's house. It's a long story, but at the end, one of them shot up my aunt's house, and then so there was a little tension there. So like, I noticed he would like drive by and kind of like look at me funny because I pressed his man. You know what I mean? I pressed his one man. So you know how that is. Like, you got mutual friends. Yeah, like, you got mutual friends, but you're kind of cooler with this guy compared to this guy. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like, that's kind of how I feel with Louis. Like, I know Kiko and I know Louis, but I'm tighter with Louis. Louis is my handyman. Louis been fixing my houses and shit. Like, and not only that, again, Louis doesn't bother nobody. He doesn't act like a tough guy. Eso es abuso. That's what I told them. I was like, yo, eso es abuso. They want to pick on Louis. You know what I mean? Como dicen, el palo sabe, el mono sabe a qué palo trepar, you know? And it's not cool. But yeah, when I spoke to the one dude that I thought me and him had a little tension, I'm not gonna lie. When I got to, he was like, "Yeah, what happened?" I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." I thought he might have been like talking shit, like trying to like nah, you know what I mean, like got fly. But he was like, "Nah, Louis cool, man. It's all good." I was like, "Yeah, bro, this is a time for us to unite." He's like, "Nah, it's all good, man. I gotta go though. More people here." So that made me feel better. And then I spoke to a couple other heads. Kiko started the whole shit though, man. But it just makes me feel like I gotta be careful too, man. I can't get pulled into no bullshit over some stupid drunk people. It's sad, bro, because if you think about it, how many people are dead right now because of alcohol in prison? How many wars started? You know what I mean? Like people die every day because of alcohol in so many different ways. Gun violence, DWIs, stabbings, whatever, getting hit by cars. Like, I'm so glad I don't drink no more. And, salute to people who know how to drink, who know how to handle it, could have a few drinks and just lay low, you know? But I wasn't like that. And some people can't. Some people can't handle their shit. And then they do stupid shit. And then they don't want to, like, they should just be a man and be like, yo, I messed up. I was wrong. Don't escalate the shit. He should have just left all that shit alone. My bad, PMC. I gotta catch up on the other one too. Yeah, for real, PMC. You ain't nothing out there. Some of those people just don't grow up. Yeah, for sure, PMC. Yeah, that's why, bro. Trucking saved my life, bro. I love trucking. I'm away. I'm out here. I'm away from everything, and then I'm gonna get another. My next spot is gonna kind of be away. Because where I live is kind of like in the middle of everything. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna make sure my next place is a little farther away, 20, 30 minutes, not too far, but enough when I come home for trucking, I could just go lay my head, be in the peace. I guess I'll still go visit my family, but I don't know, man. I'm just tired of that neighborhood, bro. Like I just want to leave forever. Sometimes I just wish I could like. To be honest, I tell my mom to move all the time, and she doesn't listen. And I get it; it's my grandma's house, so she, been living there literally like her whole life. I've been living there my whole life, but it's like I don't know, man. I hate drama. I really do. Yeah, for sure, PMC. I don't bother nobody, man. I almost got pulled into some other drama a while back too. And my friend, his girl left him and started dating this other guy. And then my friend Angel sliced his tires. You know what I mean? So the other dude, and he ended up. My friend's name is Angel, and again, it's one of these older cats. So I guess every time he would see Angel, he would like fight him and try to beat him up. And I feel like Angel kind of got himself into that one because if your girl left you for another man and you go pop the man's tires, you messed up, you know. But that dude know me and Angel were tight, so I'm driving up the block and that dude is just like ice grilling me, like on the corner. I had the Camaro. Everybody could see and hear my Camaro coming up the block. He's just like intentionally trying to like start some shit with me, and I just didn't even look, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm not gonna lie though, I had that adrenaline, like, you know how you got like that good angel, bad angel. I was like, man, I'm gonna go back around the block and just, not that I wanted to fight. I mean, he likes to fight, so I wanted to go back around and just like talk to him at least, like, yo, this, you know what I mean, like. But it would have probably escalated. But these people are old, bro. It's like, man, these people are like 50 years old already. Probably older. That guy got to be older than 50. I'm just glad that's not me, bro. I got out of that shit fairly young, you know, in my 30s. My mentality shifted, and I just, realized, like, man, like, you don't need to be no tough guy to, and, like, stupid. For real, PMC, you nailed it. That's how they be, man. Should be. I avoid drama at all costs. I really do. Like sometimes I feel like I'm soft. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I let people look at me. I'm the type of person, if I'm walking up the street, I got this little rule. If you look like a straight cold stone killer, or if you look like a nerd, I get out your way. Because I don't wanna be like, I don't think it's fair that people judge people and they try to like act tough with only certain people, you know what I mean? So I don't do that. Like people get shot for bumping into people. Like not only that, people judge a book by the cover, and you never know. You judge somebody by how they look, and that person could be a freaking, you know, no doubt. That's a good one. Your dad had the best advice. Always dropping them nuggets on you. Yeah, but after going through all this bullshit in my neighborhood, bro, sometimes I just be like, just don't wanna be around there no more. Then my kid's mother, she moved. I got two baby moms. My one baby mom moved to the east side, and that shit is even more ghetto. It's more ghetto, but it's like we don't really know nobody around there, so it's a little different. But I hope she finds a better place. I kind of feel bad for her. Even my brother, dropped my daughter there off the one day. She was like, "Man, I feel bad that they live here," and it's like, I don't know why she moved there. I mean, it's not like, but it's just too much. I don't know, too many people hanging outside around there. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I gotta get away. I mean, my neighborhood's not the freaking craziest neighborhood in the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make it sound like it's a war zone and people are shooting every day. Like, nah, there's a lot of more crazier neighborhoods than mine, but it's definitely not the suburbs either. You know what I mean? Like, it's a smaller city, but shit goes down. You know what I mean? There was some gangs over there. Like my cousin just, I know some dudes that just came home for doing 20 years for being, wrapped up in in conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like gang affiliation. People were dying, getting shot. Like yeah, shit is real. You know what I mean? I just don't want to make it sound like I come from the. You know what I mean? Like trying to. I never was the type to over exaggerate or make myself sound like something I am. Back in the day, my neighborhood was wild when I was like a kid, but it got better and it's even better and it's getting better and I'm happy because that means my it's making my the value of my values are going up. Shit, I'm not mad at it. People glorify the wrong shit, and I could too. I'm not gonna let sometimes I glorify some of the negativity I done or I still do, and I still think it's cool to talk about it. But I don't know. We gotta glorify positivity, talk about uplifting each other, and I gotta. That's what it's all about, man. I'm just glad I grew out of that because not everybody does. Not everybody changes, and I feel blessed though, man. I feel blessed in some ways, and then in some ways I don't. Right? That's life. Nah, I definitely want to move out of New York. Too cold. I want to be able to travel like a snow. You know what I mean? Travel to New York in the summer, and I want to be able to like in the winter time. I know this trucker guy. He works. I mean, there's a few different ways to do it. Trucking is, it might be possible for me to like maybe I could find a trucking job where I work 9 months and then I take 3 months off. That would be so cool. I could do it if I own my own truck. That's why a lot of people buy their own truck. Some of them are not making a lot of money, but some people just want the freedom. So I could picture myself doing something like that. Work for 9 months in the South, and then for the summer, just go to Buffalo and, chill and visit the family. Cairo, what's up, Cairo? What's new? I think Cairo's busy. Team Pepsi is wild. Team Sugar. Nah, she doesn't drink Pepsi. I think she likes. I don't know what she likes no more. No doubt, no doubt. I see Miss Muggs is dropping whatchamacallit almost every day. What do you call those? Premieres. Yeah, that was cool. PMC has been a while. I wonder if Miss Muggs does the premieres every day at the same time. Yeah, I like catching the premieres live. If I don't catch them live, I just like whatever. Every day at the same time. Yeah, she took a break for a while, so I think she was just like adding them up, like making them but not uploading. Some people do that. They'll be off of YouTube, but they'll still be making content. And then when they get back to YouTube, they'll just start unloading them. You ever had a Premiere PMC? I never had one. I had someone do one for me, but I never did it myself. Yeah, Midnight Shine is exactly one of those girls who be doing that. She's probably racking up videos right now as we speak. She's cool peeps. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a while. I don't have her on no other social media either. Yeah, she's got her own unique, cool little style. Little Chung Lee. Yeah, she always does that though, and then she comes back. So I'm pretty sure she'll come back. Hold up, guys. Give me a second. I'm almost done anyway. 30 minutes. But I gotta do something real quick. I was reading Grant Cardone before I got to work today. Yeah, he's a beast. Hold up. What's up, Mayumi? How you doing? Where's BKM? Are you listening to BKM? BKM doesn't like to repeat himself. I'm always picking on them. BKM be having me laughing. Like BKM will be live and then he'll be telling Mayumi something and then she won't, like, I guess hear it right away or listen, and then he'll get frustrated. You'll hear it like he'll be like, yeah, he'll be like, Mayumi, can you hear me? Mayumi. He'd be like, he gets like aggravated because he got to keep repeating himself. So I'm always picking on her, like, Mayumi, don't get BKM mad. You better listen. Shout out to BKM though, man. I got love for BKM, bro. Like I know I never had a problem with him. I know he had a couple fallouts with a couple people, but I don't want to get in the middle of none of that. It's always petty shit too. We're all humans. We make mistakes. Yeah. He's not going live no more? Yeah, I already know that's how it goes, man. That's why I don't really do the group thing, because I know those things don't last. But it's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Some people could handle it. I can't. Like I overthink too much, and I can't manage. You know what I mean? Like I can't be I'm not good at like managing people and all that. Like nah, just give me. You know what I mean? I like being in my own little world. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this. It was nice catching up, and yeah, I just gotta practice. Like yesterday, like maybe I overreacted. Maybe when that happened with Louis, I should have just ignored it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta ignore things, man. But I just felt like I had to stick up for my little guy. Because again, he doesn't bother nobody. I felt like they were like, eso fue abuso. I don't like seeing nobody getting like taken advantage of because they might not, be like the other guys. It's not the first time I stuck up for Louis. I'll tell you this last quick story. A long time ago, and I don't even remember this. Louis told me about this. Back in the day, Louis had like a chain, and he was on the block, and I guess they were like plotting on stealing his chain, and I heard about it, and I let them guys know, like, no, you're not gonna you're not gonna rob Louis' chain. That's my man right there. And again, I totally forgot about that. And Louis was the one who mentioned it to me. He was like, yeah, I remember that day, man. They wanted to take my chain from me, and you stuck up for me, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I don't even remember that day, but no doubt, I wouldn't let nobody do that to you. And now look, I stick up for him again, and I know he appreciates it. And we got a good thing going. He's been he's been doing some work for me, and I gotta, take care of my little worker, man. But I don't want no drama, man. You know, I just hope all that shit dies out. I don't think it's that serious. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Peace in the Middle East.